I was standing outside the Oval Office when I heard the screaming start. Not one voice. Hundreds. The south lawn was on fire. Agents were eating each other, and something was pounding on the front gate hard enough to bend steel. The dead didn't sneak in. They came as a horde. They told us it was a drill, level 2 lockdown, civil unrest, just another staged response to keep us sharp. That's what they said. But the radios crackled too much. The comms room was sealed early. And the last time we did a drill, no one locked the doors from the outside. I stood at my post near the Resolute desk. My earpiece buzzed with static. Someone was trying to scream through the noise. Then the cameras blinked, one by one. South lawn, offline, north gate, static. And then the feed came back, showing them. Bodies, dozens at first, then hundreds, stumbling, sprinting, crawling, bleeding from their eyes, some naked, some in torn riot gear, but every single one of them was headed straight for the building. I turned to Reyes, posted at the internal checkpoint. "What the hell is this?" I asked. She didn't answer, just stared at the screen, then whispered, "They're not stopping." The first impact hit the front gate so hard the metal shrieked. It didn't bend, it folded. We heard the perimeter guards open fire, short bursts, then longer ones, then screaming, then nothing. I backed toward the door. "We need to move the president, now." Reyes grabbed her radio. "This is Agent Reyes. Be advised, perimeter has fallen. Repeat, we are compromised. Preparing to extract." The hallway behind her lit up red. Emergency lockdown protocol. Too late. They came through the east entrance like a wave of wet meat and bone. One jumped onto an agent's back, tore out a chunk of his neck like it was bread, and kept running. I raised my pistol, but I couldn't shoot. Not when half of them looked like people I'd just had lunch with yesterday. Not when one of them was wearing a Secret Service badge. I grabbed Reyes by the vest and dragged her toward the elevator. "We're not saving anyone up here. Get to the lower tunnels." "They'll trap us," she said, voice shaking. "They'll eat us if we stay." We passed 2 staffers in the West Wing hallway, both sobbing, one missing a shoe. I told them to stay behind us, to run if we slowed down. I shouldn't have said anything. It gave them hope. 10 seconds later, the horde came around the corner. The lead one had no lips, just blood-coated teeth and eyes that didn't blink. We ran. The elevator wouldn't work. Power was gone. We kicked through the stairwell door. Reyes emptied her sidearm into the first 3 that followed us. I shoved the 4th back with my shoulder, slammed the door, and bolted the lock. We made it to sub-level 2. I punched my access code into the steel door at the far end of the corridor. "Agent Rowe," I barked. "Presidential security clearance. Open the tunnel." The speaker crackled. A voice answered,
"You weren't supposed to survive this long."
Then the door locked. From the other side, Reyes looked at me. "Who the hell was that?" "I don't know," I said, but I had a guess. And behind us, upstairs, the chewing had started. We made it to sub-level 2, and the goddamn blast door locked us out. Reyes backed up, shaking. I drew my weapon and stared at the speaker like I could shoot through it. "I have presidential-level clearance," I snapped. "Open that door or I'll..." A noise cut me off. Wet, ragged breathing. Close. I turned. A figure limped into view from the shadows of the access hall. Pale suit, torn pants, half a face. A badge still clipped to his belt. White House Counsel. The lights flickered. His jaw unhinged, and he let out a sound that wasn't a scream, just the awful grinding of a throat with no vocal cords trying to speak. I put 3 rounds through his head. He dropped. The tunnels beneath the West Wing were never meant for combat. Narrow, flickering lights, no ventilation, and worse, no cameras. We moved fast. Reyes was pale but holding. I took point with my flashlight, sweeping each corner, each flickering junction. Blood smeared the floor, a trail leading down a side corridor. We passed a medical bay. I stopped, just long enough to peek inside. A gurney, straps shredded, a folder spilled open across the floor. Reyes picked it up. "Don't," I said, but she was already reading and frowning, her eyes locked with mine. This wasn't just a virus. I glanced over her shoulder. The top of the form read, "Vira Clean Solutions, Post-Mortem Neuroreactivation Trial. Classified Addendum, Agent Persistence in Executive Hosts." No timestamp, no clearance, just those words. Then a crash from further down the hallway sent the paper scattering. We left the file behind. There was no time to ask questions, but every step after that felt heavier. We reached the PEOC, a secure underground complex built to survive bombs, invasions, you name it. But not this. The steel door had claw marks, human nails embedded in the frame, and blood smeared across the keypad. I typed in my code. Nothing. Reyes tried hers. The speaker crackled. A new voice this time, hoarse, terrified. "Don't open it," he said. "Please, we're infected." "We?" I asked. The voice sobbed. "The president, the vice presidents, secretaries of state and defense, all of them. One of the doctors. He bit the president. No one believed it. Then he got up." More static. Then, "We sealed them in. I'm the only one left, and I don't know how long I'll stay me." Gunfire echoed from the other side of the steel, followed by snarling, then silence. Reyes looked at me. "We're out of options." I nodded. "We head to the East Wing, try the uplink, broadcast something, anything. Think anyone's still listening? I think someone locked us out on purpose. And I think they're still watching." We started moving, but behind us, from the steel door to the PEOC, we heard someone start to knock. Slow. Rhythmic. Like they were waiting for someone to let them back in. We made it to the East Wing by following fire and silence. Most of the bodies we passed didn't look human anymore. One was crawling with no legs. Another was chewing on a shoe like it still had a foot in it. Reyes barely spoke. We were running out of ammo, running out of time. The presidential communications uplink was 2 doors away, hidden behind a reception wall, sealed with a 6-digit code only 3 of us ever had. 2 of them were dead. I punched in the numbers. The door unlocked with a metallic groan. Inside, racks of monitors, an emergency antenna console, and backup batteries blinking red. Enough power for one short broadcast. Reyes sat at the console and started typing. I can pulse an encrypted message to every major intel node on the East Coast. What'll it say? She looked at me. That we failed. I nodded, then turned to block the door. They came a minute later, fast, screaming, flesh slapping the tile. Dozens of them, former staff, agents, civilians. Some still wore White House ID tags around their shredded necks. I opened fire. First shot dropped a runner. Second went clean through a woman's skull, and she kept coming. Reyes shouted from the console, "It's working!" Something slammed into me from the side. I hit the ground hard, gun skidding away. Blood, teeth, screaming. I kicked it off and reached for my knife. Reyes screamed. I looked back. They were on her. She was still typing. And then,
Transmission sent.
the console whispered.
System shutting down.
She looked at me, smiled, and went under. I ran. No plan, no map, just instinct. Through the back door, through fire, through bodies. I don't remember how many halls I turned down, or how many of them I killed. I just remember falling, metal stairs, pain, then darkness. I woke up underground, alone. A red light blinked on the wall nearby. Next to it, an elevator panel, still powered. No markings, no floor numbers, just a fingerprint reader. I reached out, hesitated. There was blood on my hands, but not mine. And just before I touched it, a voice came through the speaker overhead. Male, calm, familiar.
Agent Rowe, welcome to Tier 4.
The door slid open, and I stepped inside. If you're still breathing, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you dare. There are plenty more nightmares waiting for you. And whatever you do, don't forget to ring the bell. It's the only way you'll hear the warnings in time.